Welcome to FreedomCast, a podcast dedicated to interviewing star icons and entrepreneurs who have encouraged others to become more healthy and active. My name is Ashton, and it's my pleasure to host you as we take another trip through the fitness industry. It's entertaining and informative, and I hope it makes fitness more exciting and special to you in your own fitness journey. FreedomCast is supported by Freedom Fitness Equipment in Charlotte, North Carolina. Freedom Fitness Equipment serves the health and fitness community nationwide, from free weights and strength equipment for home gyms and studios to cardio and conditioning equipment for commercial spaces. Check them out at freedomfitnessequipment.com. Let's get rolling with today's show. Got Joe from Unleashed Strength in Virginia on the line to talk through his gym. I saw your content on TikTok and said, hey, this guy is cool. And he's not spewing a bunch of nonsense like 90% of fitness influencers out there. So let's chat. Also,
I try.
You caught my attention right off the bat because is it Jimmy Kolb and like two other massive powerlifter names, at least to me, like lift in your gym, which was freaking sweet. So how the heck did you manage to pull that off?
For sure. So Jimmy was one of our very first members, and it's super cool. I love that you know who he is because he is. So yeah, he's currently the heaviest manual bench presser of all time, regardless of division, weight class, equipment, or whatever. So he's he's a single ply lifter, but also multi-ply. But he has the all-time record in everything, but he's in single ply. So it's insane. He was one of our very first members, and he's a really good friend of ours now, of course. So he came in on our opening day. He actually messaged us like a week before we opened, like, hey, having some troubles at the gym I'm at right now. Can I come by to your gym? I was like, of course you can. What do you do? He's like, I bench, but it's regularly over like 1,000 pounds that I'm gonna need on the bench. I was like, oh, okay. I don't know. And I didn't really know what equipped lifting was at that point. I didn't know what, I was very new to that world. So I was like, I think our equipment can handle it, and we'll see. Sorry.
No, you're good.
We'll see what we can do. I'm sure we can. Let's make it work. So he comes in on our opening day, and got to meet him and his wife, and he sets up on the bench with a couple of his buddies, and he's got like 800 or 900 pounds on with his Ram slingshot.
Yep.
We're all the whole gym's just like staring, like who is this guy and why? I've never seen that much weight on a bar before, and what is he doing? So that was really cool. Wow. He came in that next week, signed up, and he's been coming here ever since exclusively, which has been crazy. We have since offered him we don't have a lot of sponsored athletes. We have him. He's our only sponsored athlete. And so which we try to do what we can to help him out with that. I've been, helping Spot and been part of his crew since the beginning. He's got a little sponsorship through us, and it's been cool to see him break all these all-time world records with our logo and our name on his chest doing it. So it's been pretty wild. And then Ben Pollock was a member for a little bit. I had reached out. He just lived in the area, which was, serendipitous. But I had met him at another gym that we were going to real briefly. And then I started reaching out to him once we opened, just inviting him over. My wife has a really nice camera because she's a wedding photographer. So I do videography a little bit. She does photos. So I was like, hey, I'll hook you up with some photos and videos. I know you got a big following. He's got like 170,000 followers and pretty well renowned, all-time world record holder as well. So we started reaching out and just offering him, what can we do to help you out? And so he's like, yeah, I'll come by for some videos sometime. And so I shot him a couple of YouTube videos that he had ended up using, for free. And then he ended up signing up as a member. Then he brought Kevin Oak one day, which was really cool.
Saw that, yeah.
And we still have Kevin Oaks. He got like a copper pipe that just he used for stretching and stuff, and he left it at the gym, so it's kind of cool. So it's just like chilling at the gym. People use it for for warming up. So yeah, we've had some big lifters roll through. It's been really cool. And yesterday we just had Bill Gillespie. Do you know who? If you know equipped lifting, maybe he's one of the only other. There were 9 or 10 people who have benched 1,000.
Wow.
He is the oldest one, so he is 60. I think he's 61.
Oh, you kidding?
So we had the oldest and the youngest person to bench 1,000 pounds yesterday in the gym. I was taking pictures and got some cool content with them. So that was pretty wild for him to roll through. Super nice guy. Real like, soft spoken, really like gentle giant. It was pretty cool.
That's incredible. So is there like there must be a pretty strong powerlifting community just in the area of Virginia that you're in? Because when I think of powerlifting, I normally think of Ohio, which is super far north, but
Sure.
is that area just known for bringing out the competition?
I don't know that it's known for it. I will give big credit to it. One of the gyms that's not too far away from us, the Shop gym. If you've heard of the Shop, but they have a location in Manassas, and they just opened a second one in Ashburn. So they've kind of always been our rival gym, so to speak. There's a different, not different league, but just different gym because they got like 20,000 square feet in this Manassas location. They've got bodybuilding section, their powerlifting section, their whatever. So they've really built up the powerlifting scene in the area.
Okay.
And their USAPL state chair goes Saber, his last name, but he's really built up like USAPL competition and the meets and everything in the past couple of years. So I'm not sure what it looked like before they came to the scene, but they've done a really good job of like really getting it going here, I would say.
That's awesome. I just wanted to ask you about how the gym got, first of all, how long has the gym been open exactly?
So it'll be 2 years in like a week, in 2 weeks. Yeah, the middle of August. So August 17, 2019.
So you started almost right when the pandemic hit. So how in the heck? So talk me through the thought process. I want to start a gym. Oh crap, the pandemic hits. How do you survive? All that stuff. And then if you can, just give our listeners a little bit of a overview of kind of your background going into all this.
Sure. Yeah. So we kind of jumped right in there. Yeah. So where do we start? So yeah, it's been about 2 years. Something I wanted to do for a while, open a gym, but as I've come to find out, everybody and their mom has a dream of opening a gym.
Yeah.
Which is totally fine. Of course, but it's obvious, and there's definitely plenty of room in the industry to carve out your niche and open your gym. So definitely plenty of room. I've been to a few gyms, that I've really liked for inspiration. So like Iron Asylum down in Virginia Beach. I'm not sure if you're familiar with them, but I know the owner very well there. And I went there and I was like, this is the kind of space that I want. This is what I love. It's the old school feel, but also still kind of the clean and sharp setting as well. And then went to some of their events. I was like, yeah, I love the event atmosphere, people, motivating each other, encouraging each other, that kind of thing. And making the gym, like, to me, working out was always something enjoyable and more of an experience then. And that's kind of what I wanted to bring to people was, look, working out can be something that's not, fun, and you don't have to just check it off your, to-do list. It's not just something you have to quick rush through, get it done, get home. It's something that people enjoy. And that's, and if you want to just get through it and put your headphones in and knock it out, you can. But my whole goal kind of was like, let's create a gym that people enjoy coming to, where you have the atmosphere, you have the motivation when you come there and you enjoy it. So, I mean, the more I talk to other people, the more I realize how unique a place like that is, because we have people who leave here in search of like, their next gym kind of thing if they move away, and most people are very disappointed to not be able to find a gym that can, that they feel that comfortable in. And so yeah, anyway, there was definitely some blank space as far as that goes in our area. Like the Shop was close by. They're big, a bigger gym. We are a much smaller gym, so we're about 4,500 square feet. So it's just a different environment and different atmosphere, and we're able to focus on things that they're unable to do. So it's kind of just, we're competing against them in a sense, but at the same time, it's like, let's find out what makes us unique in comparison to them. So we really doubled down on like the community aspect of things. We have our monthly events. We have just like a good, I'm able to I know everybody at the gym. Like I'm there. I was there every day. Now I'm there 6 days a week. but like, I'm able to know everybody, to greet people when they come in, to help people walking through workouts and form checks and that kind of thing. So that, I think that really does, add a lot to it too.
Yeah.
Where you're able to be the community curator, so to speak, and really like build that. And as we grow, we'll see. I was afraid that we're going to lose some of that, but honestly, as we've grown, we've had more and more just like good, solid people coming in and bringing their friends, and the groups kind of, instead of getting more like divisive, it's actually just kind of grown, and more groups have kind of melded into bigger groups, and it's not cliquey, which is what I was worried about too. So it's really held up super well. Yes, we opened in August 2019. Had a good start. I was still working full time at my project management position at another job, so that was terrible, balancing both. But that was about 7 months of that. The first 7 months where I was working full time elsewhere. My wife couldn't have done it without my wife, who was running the gym and my job, and we had just one kiddo at that point, our oldest Sebastian. So he was 3 when we opened up. We were living about a half an hour away, so we knew that was unsustainable, and we had a mortgage, down, too far away. So we just tried to like simplify as much as possible. So moved back in with my in-laws right down the street from the gym. Sold the condo, tried to get rid of as much complication in our lives as possible, just because it was very high level stress at that point. And went, as much so that we could eventually go all in with the gym. Things were going well. We had a good, the first couple months, we had like 100 members sign up, I think, within the first 2 months, which was
holy cow. That's great.
And I'm like trying to like think about it, because I know I've talked to other gym owners and stuff who have like had that trouble and getting initial startups, but we didn't do anything special as far as like, it really was like people referring people was a big thing. So a lot of people bringing their friends, a lot, we had done social media a little bit before opening. So I've been posting on social media for years beforehand, just kind of building the awareness at least. But I didn't start TikTok until, a while after we opened. Once I found out that hidden gem, which was awesome. But, Instagram and Facebook, their organic reach is trash.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But at least it was like good, good awareness to at least start. So people in our community knew, hey, they're opening a gym, whatever. So we got off the ground, had a good first few months, slowed down for, that holiday season kind of slows down, picked back up in this, in the spring. But then February, end of February, I got let go from my other job. So that was the best, and also like scariest, but the best day of my life, I'd say.
Same here, dude.
It was kind of like this, I wanted to go all in, but we weren't like, didn't think we were ready. Like, we just need a little more, wait till we're a few more members, like a little more revenue. We need to make whatever. And then I got that, got a text, hey, gonna need you on the phone in a few minutes. Can I call you? I was like, no. Went out to my car and just like, yeah, we're gonna have to let you go. And but it worked out the way it worked out real so well. God was looking out for us for sure. We had I was able to get on unemployment because of and with the pandemic coming up and all that kind of stuff, the way it worked out in the end. I wasn't fired, I was let go, all the little stuff that was just like, okay, it worked out really well. I got my severance and stuff. And so just kind of looked at my wife and was like, all right, we kind of sat in the car, cried a little bit, like just overwhelmed. Like, and then we're like, all right, we're going all in, we're here. And so got to go to work, that day, got to go to the gym for the first time, just like 110% focused on building the gym, which was really, really exciting. It was like terrifying, but also just like, all right, let's do this. There's no other option now than to make this happen. That was the end of February. And then March starts coming around though, and we're gonna start hearing rumors of this, spreading novel coronavirus. Like, what is this thing? And then we start hearing about different states shutting down and gyms and everything. And so that was getting a little nerve-wracking. I was still working on a bunch of projects at the gym that I'd been putting off because I didn't have enough time. So I was getting stuff done at the gym and blah, blah, blah. gyms start shutting down, and like I'm trying to remember what the order was, but it was like Vermont and then like Delaware, and it was like coming down the coastline. It was like Maryland, and then
all the northern states first.
Right.
Of course.
Oh my gosh. And then so we were like this last, I remember this imagery in my head of like the last stronghold on like the eastern coast kind of thing. Even like Virginia gyms started shutting down because we had the mandate for 10 people in the gym at a time or whatever, which
oh my gosh,
big gyms can't do that. But as a smaller gym, we could. So we started doing, we did signups. You could sign up for like, time slots and stuff. And we just got a flood of members, guests, and everything. It was intense. But it worked out. And then that was going on for about a week and a half. We had to shut down memberships, open new memberships, because we were getting so many new signups online and in person. Wow. That it became unfair for our current members, because our current members were trying to fight for time slots, and they were all trying to work out when they were going to come work out, and they couldn't get time slots. So I was like, all right, this isn't, so we shut down memberships, we shut down drop-ins, we were trying to do like all this deep cleaning, and everyone, got a rhythm going, and then we got shut down. So that was we were shut down for about 2 months. Just because it was state mandate, no gyms. Of course, we're like, bumming around outside, at the store, in the parking lot waiting, and I'm watching people go in and out of like the vape shop and stuff, right? But like my gym is closed, and people are messaging me like I'm not doing well mentally, I'm like losing all my like progress. I'm like really struggling. And I got lifters, we got 700-800 pound squatters who can't like do, your yoga at home. They need a squat rack and 800 pounds. So it was a really weird time. It was a really sad time. But we rented out most of our equipment, all our barbells and stuff like that. So people were setting up some really sketchy home gym setups. And then we ended up opening, I don't know if this is how I'm supposed to say too much, but we opened up about 2 weeks earlier than we were supposed to, just because, I had a community to take care of.
You gotta survive too.
Right. I mean, we had recently just gone all in on this, and now we're like, our revenue is down by like, I think it was like half. We're trying to like pay our rent. We're trying to like, and so it worked out. The biggest takeaway though from that whole thing was we sent out an email to everybody, all our members, like, hey, here's the deal, we're closed. We can freeze your account. My biggest thing was like, I want to keep as many members as possible, right? I don't want everyone to cancel and then have to sign everybody up again. So like, we'll freeze your account for free. We'll freeze your account for $10, or you can just continue paying in full, which, preferred option, but we had like 86% of people paying in full throughout those 2 months. I had people like jokingly threaten me, like, you better not cancel my membership. If I don't see those charges go through, we're not friends anymore, that kind of stuff. It was like, so we were an emotional mess. Just like, it was really moving to see that many people like rally behind us, rally behind the gym. And at that point we peaked at like 210 members. Right before then we had to shut down membership. And then of course over those next couple months we had just a normal natural attrition. So we had people moving or COVID or whatever canceling. So we came back down to like 190 members. So we had lost about like 20 or so. We opened for that first week. We opened underground. We had 30 people sign up.
Dang.
Because we were just like the only gym open.
Right. Yeah.
And we weren't even announcing it. It was kind of this undercover thing.
Oh, everybody knows though.
Everyone just starts, telling their friends kind of thing, hey, get used to it. So I was kind of excited.
Don't tell anybody.
Yeah. And then since then we have peaked at 420. 422. Hey. I think maybe peak was like 422 or something, 421. So we have obviously since more than doubled since that. And it's been a wild ride, but no shutdowns coming that I see, but we're gonna definitely fight it as hard as we can if we get it.
Yeah, the Delta Plus and Delta Pro and Delta Elite variants, I'm sure, are well on their way.
The upgrades coming soon.
Yeah. Did you join that gym owners group that was getting started by the guy up in Jersey that got shut down at the time? Or
Let's see, what did I join? We made a Virginia gym. We had a Virginia gym community group
okay.
on Facebook that we were all talking about stuff because people were talking about potentially trying to sue our governor, I think,
Yeah.
and go after him because everyone's tossing around ideas. We had a couple like conference calls amongst a bunch of gym owners in the area in Virginia, just because.
Oh, good.
But I consider ourselves very lucky in a lot of regards, just because we're so small.
Mhm.
We're in a really small city that no one cares about and is very low profile.
Yep.
And we just stayed out of it. Like, and my goal was to stay open as much as possible. Other gyms, I respect it. I respect the kind of fighting mentality of we're staying open and defying the governor, everything. I didn't want to make a big stink of it because I knew that was the fastest way to get shut down again.
Yeah, you'll be in our microscope.
Right. So, if I'm out here posting on social media that, we challenge Northam, and come shut us down, that's when the state police show up and say,
right,
get out of your gym, you're shut down,
yeah.
And then it's a bad look and then PR and all that stuff. So we just kind of stayed under the radar. We kept the windows, we had the windows blacked out, even when we were allowed to be open again, just like kept things quiet, kept things kind of undercover. Like, all right, we don't need prying eyes looking in at our gym every day. We keeping things clean. Members were good about, if you were sick, you stayed home, that kind of thing. It's just, it's the risk that people are willing to have to decide if they're willing to make, kind of thing. Yep. Kind of kept the privacy, kind of kept things quiet, and we've just been rolling, stayed under the radar for the past several months, and things have been back to normal for the most part. So we'll see what happens now, I guess.
So how big is your gym for 420 members? That's awesome. But you said you're not as big as some of the others in the area. So what's the square footage?
We're about 4,500 square feet. So yeah,
Wow.
it's not huge, but and I would argue that we have a higher participation or attendance rate than most, than a Planet Fitness or commercial gyms, just because you have more generally have more dedicated member base, I would say. People who are signing up at a gym like this are usually more serious about working out.
It sounds like it. Yeah, because for that square footage, I mean, I know gyms that I just interviewed a guy that has about half of that space, and I think only about 80 members. So you're triple or quadruple that, and only double the space. So that's impressive. It's from what you said earlier, it sounds like you attribute most of that to community and the fact that you guys are actually serious about, lifting and powerlifting and creating that sense of that good training environment.
For sure. I'd say most people coming in are are word of mouth. Honestly, there's a lot of social media is great as far as Facebook and Instagram. People just post it on their stories, tagging us in their posts. Nice. And powerlifters, everyone has to post their
day
and which we like. We encourage. We're asking, are we allowed to, record here? It's of course, please. I'm here with my camera taking pictures and videos of everybody.
Yeah.
So I'd say for our social media approach was and just branding in general. To me, the look of the tough guys, the badass, the gym that's too cool, that's too tough, that's we're the baddest. I go, that's tired for me. I didn't want to be that again. Everyone, there's too many gyms that are like that. We're the baddest, we're the strongest, we're the coolest. All right, cool. We're gonna be kind of the funniest and the most fun and the most you come to the gym at any time, you'll see people being silly, having a good time. And then that's kind of where I doubled down to on social media is having a lighthearted side.
Yeah.
And so that's a lot of our best performing videos have been more of the silly stuff and the fun stuff. So it's you see this gym, you got Jimmy benching, 1,200 pounds in the corner, but then he gets up and skips away with me on a TikTok video. And you're it's cool because it makes it a little more relatable, or a little more like, hey, these are just normal people, and like we got some strong athletes at the gym, but usually a lot of our strongest athletes are also the most humble, they're the most approachable, and they're and that kind of thing. So it's like setting this tone for, hey, these are just trying to kind of tear down that barrier of like intimidation for a lot of people, especially newer lifters. We're very encouraging environment for people who are just getting into lifting, working out. And it's not, we didn't start as just powerlifting. It's more, we're pretty general. I just say strength training in general, because we got Olympic lifters, we just got general fitness enthusiasts, we got gym bros, we got powerlifters now. And as powerlifting has gotten bigger in our gym, we've gotten more. We got the kilo plates now, we got the combo rack, that kind of thing. But we didn't start like that. When we had powerlifters coming in, they were just using the the black iron plates with the Elite FTS power bars on the rack, or on the so like that, we started with that, and then as we be able to get more equipment as we went. But just being very like naturally ourselves, and building a good and welcoming environment for, like I said, you got all-time world record holders, but they're also mentioned next to people who are just picking up a barbell for the first time.
Yep.
Well, Jimmy's helping them do that too, which is cool. Like you can ask the strongest bencher in the world to check your form, and he'll sit down and check your form with you. Now we got Amber. She's a beast. She's awesome. She's been a huge huge addition to our community. She came to train with Jimmy, but has just been, again, she's not the strongest woman at the gym, she's one of the strongest people at the gym. Like, regardless, she's up there putting up 3 plates on bench, raw, and regularly squatting like over 5 in reps and stuff. So it's like really cool to see. And she's also, her first couple weeks, she's volunteering, like, hey, I hear you have an event coming up, what can I do to help out? And like spotting and loading and that kind of thing. So it's just been like a really cool, these people that are coming in are strong and serious athletes, but they're also such great community builders. And so we owe a lot to those kind of community builders in general.
That's awesome. Oh man. Well, and when anybody mentions Elite FTS, they're serious about powerlifting. That's I have a how should we say, slight man crush on Dave Tate. I'll just put it that way.
Okay.
So
because Ben Pollock is the Elite FTS sponsored athlete. And so he wrote an article about all his favorite gyms in Virginia or whatever. We were like, so like he lifted at the shop, which is like the big one, but then he had a whole paragraph about us and was saying we were like his favorite gym in like Northern Virginia or something. I was like, what? It's like, this is like one of the best powerlifters in the world. And he's like,
oh my word,
just like lighting us, like in a good way, lighting us up on this article. I was like, this is
insane. That's amazing. So it sounds like you guys are getting, you're 2 years in, your growth has been insane. Your environment and your community is huge. It sounds like you're getting ready to expand again.
I'm trying to figure out what the plan is. My goal is to have just a bigger one location. People ask about like a second location, that kind of thing. I had a couple friends who were pretty integral in like helping me. And I said, I was working all 7 days a week. I had a couple help me out on my Sundays, and they were starting to do cleaning and like watch the gym. They'd come work out, watch the gym that's our short day, 5 hours. And now they moved to Texas, so they moved to Austin, which is a pretty big powerlifting scene also.
Yeah.
But now they're bugging me to like open a second location down there. So they're like, hey, we'll go, like, we want to start a gym, like everybody. But they're like, if we're gonna open a gym, we'd want it to be, they loved our gym, they loved Unleashed. So like, we want it to be like that anyway. So why don't we just open another location for Unleashed and blah blah. So I was like, we definitely talk about it. But now there's like, there's Liberation down there, there's Big Tex, there's this other one. If you've seen Tim Thibodeau and Pug, they're all opening Game Day Barbell.
Yep.
There's like a lot of competition down there, but they're shopping around for gyms right now, and they're like, we cannot find, they're biased. They were good members of ours and they're really good friends and everything, a ton of people in there, but they're like, we cannot find a gym that like has everything that we loved about Unleashed in one spot, like the atmosphere, the equipment layout, that kind of thing. So they keep messaging me with all their complaints about each gym. They basically like, all right, I guess we're gonna have to. I keep telling them you just have to move back here, I guess. But they say,
there you go.
or we'll just have to build our own. So, my goal, I'd like to stay where we are, and I'd love, like, we're in a shopping center with a bunch of different bays all lined up. So we've got 3 of those bays all smashed together.
Oh, so you could keep expanding now.
So that's my goal, is to, I'm actually supposed to be talking to the landlord. I was supposed to talk to him last week. He never came by. So I'm going to follow up with him, probably follow up with him today or tomorrow, actually, because we're supposed to talk about, there's a potential another 1,300 square feet coming available that we could potentially grab. But now it's about like, all right, can we afford it? Is that too much of a growth right now? But we did a poll, just like a quick lighthearted poll on Instagram, to see if people would be willing to pay a little bit more, because we're pretty cheap. We're $44 a month and 39.
Oh, that's nothing.
44 and 39. Some of our original members are in for like 35 for various deals, discounts and stuff. So I just kind of messaged, like, can you guys be willing for $5 more, per month membership raise, and 100% across the board for everyone. Everyone that answered on our poll was a yes. It was like 109 yeses or something. Dang. So, maybe would we lose a couple? Maybe, but that would give us another, $1,500, $2,000 a month that we could put towards that space that could kind of offset that. We've been able to, save up some money and stuff so we could buy some new equipment. And I was messing around with some layout ideas, and it would really open things up. Because when it gets busy, on like a busy Monday night, it starts to get a little crowded here. It's not overly crowded, but sometimes it'll be like, all right, we could use a little more room.
Yeah, I totally get it. I mean, there's a gym, Workout Anytime here in Mid-Hill, and they've got a good layout, but I mean, they probably have, if I had to guesstimate, they probably have a couple of hundred members, and between the rack or 2 that they have on any given night, it's just absolutely jammed in there because their free weight section is like tucked in a corner. So, yeah, I feel you on the space constrictions there. Are you going to expand the powerlifting footprint, or would you do something like I know Alan Thrall did over at Untamed Strength in California? He kind of expanded into a completely different genre and went into strongman as a separate section.
So my thing is, like, one of the things about balancing the gym equipment is, like, we have a very versatile layout, and that's what I would want to try to increase, just like the versatility of the space. So, or at least growing with equipment that is versatile, because like, we have a bunch of machine, we have a good line of machinery now, but was very hesitant at first, because it's like, you get a piece of equipment that does one thing, but it takes up, 20 square feet.
You're speaking my language right now. Yeah.
It's extremely, we got away with, now we have a full line. We've got a full upper body, a full body circuit, really, that you, bunch of good leg machines now, a bunch of good upper body machines, that kind of thing. But we're very picky about what machinery we leave in the gym now, because it takes up so much space. So we have, including our Rogue squat stands, if you use them, like the freestanding, movable Rogue squat stands, if you include them, we've got 10 places to squat.
Nice.
We've got six station of rig, a mono, a cage, a combo rack, and then the Rogue squat stand. So that's 10 places to squat. We've got 3 stationary benches plus the combo rack plus a bunch of utility racks. So, like, you can bench and squat 5 deadlift platforms, bench, squat, and deadlift in a lot of different places in a lot of different areas. So that rig space, especially, rig is like just all valuable. Like, probably the most used and most valuable piece of equipment we can put in the gym, just because it's so versatile and you can do so much on a rack.
Yeah.
So that would be something we'd be looking to add more rig space. People really like the combo rack. It's used, probably 80% of the day that thing's being used. So, like, another combo rack would be nice as we get more power lifters. When also versatile, because you can bench or you can squat in it, which is really nice. So I'd be looking for that. Maybe some more dumbbell section. We've got 5s to 145s right now, but the tricky part, we kind of have like 2 sections. We have like a lower area, and then we have like a little step up, and then the upper area. The upper area has like a lot of the machinery and the cardio area. The lower level is like all the free weights. The problem is, when it's busy, everyone's on the lower level and it feels super crowded. The upper level, we have a couple people here and there. So it's like how I'm really trying to get more people to come up on the upper level. So half of me wants to build, like, split up the free weight section a little bit and put where the upper level would be what's expanding. So almost having another mini free weight section might be the best alternative, just so that we can get more people up there and, like, all right, get out of the lower level where it feels really crowded and kind of spread people out a little bit, especially when you start getting groups together and you'll get a pack of 5 or 6 people all come in and just, then powerlifters with their bags and everything's
Oh yeah.
So that's gonna be the next step, is getting people to, like, normally if it's not busy, bring your bags around, whatever. Once it gets busier, I'm gonna have to start getting a little more particular about where people put their stuff, I think, just because it's easy to all of a sudden feels a lot more crowded just because everyone's crap's everywhere.
Sure.
But, and I say that as a powerlifter myself. So.
Oh no, I totally understand you. When I went to, there was a gym here in Charlotte that I went to, and one of the things the owner was talking about, which I don't get that. I mean, you're having to think through it because you're starting to get constricted on space. But I don't think a lot of gym owners, unless they're in a franchise and they've got like a pre-existing layout that they can kind of go from, don't really, or aren't able to really give a whole lot of thought to where things are placed, but the positioning of things, even down to, he was talking about like where you position a glute bridge or basically a booty bridge machine, so that like guys aren't ogling the women as they're using the equipment. It was really interesting to me just hear, about how he's strategizing, and maybe you have the same thought about like strategizing where you're putting different pieces, because it's super tough to move something around once it's in place and people use it for a while.
Right. We've done a few like reconfigurations, smaller refigs, but but yeah, it's exhausting. It's a very huge effort. It takes a lot of people to like move, and like even just moving the deadlift platforms. The deadlift platforms are miserable. The Olympic platforms, I mean, they are so heavy because
they're awful.
Plywood on mats on plywood, and it's just misery, and there's nothing to grip. And so yeah, that stuff's hard to move in general. So we try not to do too much of that. But yeah, you're absolutely right. It was the way a lot of it fell into place was pretty easy initially. And then we remember setting up, my wife and I were just like, it was a couple days before we were opening. We're trying to finalize this last part. We got everything else laid out. And then we're like, all right, how, trying to figure out where the platforms were supposed to go and the combo rack and all this, kind of figuring it all out. And then it finally clicked to us where it all worked. It's just there was a lot of thought process for sure. And then we want the dumbbells by the turf lane so that you can do lunges and carries, but then you want I don't know, just the way that you do have to lay it. You're right though. We do have a glute bridge now. I put that up on the upper level, kind of where it's a little more private, just because you're not in the middle, the center of attention while you're doing hip thrusts, and that kind of thing. So it's definitely an aspect of it. We have a section of a rig on the upper level too.
Nice.
For people who are, not quite ready to venture down to the lower level kind of thing. So it's a good training area for people who might want to have be in a quieter area to practice their squats or press or whatever, and not ready to go down, even though obviously everyone's welcome to come down on the lower level, but some people just aren't, want to have that quieter section to work out. So there's a lot that goes into arranging for sure.
Oh yeah. When you started the gym, did you have any previous training as a personal trainer or any competitive powerlifting or background or anything like that? I can't remember if you said.
Yeah. So I had done a few powerlifting meets at that point. I think I competed three or four times. I got my USAPL level 1 coaching certification, whatever.
Oh.
It was a day class. It wasn't anything particular. I didn't do I didn't do anything certified CPT or anything. To me, it's I didn't really need it. Because lots of times you get that because you're trying to win the approval of a gym that needs to hire you or something. Well, I don't need to impress anybody but myself at that point, or my clients, my future people that I would be training. So, and to me, experience and results matter a lot more than those fancy letters at the end of your name.
Amen.
So I initially was taking on clients when we opened up because we needed every source of income we could get.
Right.
So in-person training and online training, we had a few trainers that would pass people off to, and then we had like a rotation kind of. I'd send leads to a couple of our trainers at the gym, and then I would take some for myself, and we'd kind of split them up. And so that was definitely helpful at first. But I personally, I like running the gym and community building and talking to everybody and talking to a lot of people. I realized pretty quickly that I was like, I don't really want to go all in on the one-on-one individual personal training. So as we've grown, I've been able to step back from that and have a few online clients, but I don't do in-person one-on-one training anymore, just because I prefer, my time has gotten now more spread thin. And so I just like dedicating a full hour, to one individual person, even though, yeah, it's good money. It's just, I prefer to do other things now, to run the business in the gym itself. So, but yeah, it was pretty limited experience as far as like that goes.
Yeah, I got you.
Started up for sure.
Well, and like you said, I think a lot of I've talked with a handful of people as well, both on the podcast as well as just outside, that they have more experiential background from training and doing their own lifts and working with different people than most personal trainers who just went and got the certification. That's the only reason they got the certification.
Sure.
I don't think those certs mean as much as people think they mean.
Right.
Particularly if you're garbage.
To be frank, in their defense, I will say it's harder to get the cert than I kind of initially thought.
Oh, interesting.
It depends what it is, but I was like looking at like some of the curriculum. I was like, but then it surprises me, because like if you know all this stuff, if you did all this work and study to like get this certification, and then this is like the quality of your coaching afterwards, I'm like, yeah, doesn't usually match. I do feel like it's like you learn a lot of. A lot of the tests seem pretty rigorous, and like the curriculum seems kind of intense. But you have to learn more than just like, this is your bicep, So, but then to see like the quality of trainers that come out, and just like overall, like you said, the fitness influencers and that kind of thing. So, we've been able to kind of set up a solid team at the gym where I just, we've got a good working relationship with a bunch of our trainers, and I just now pass off leads to people that, it's valuable for me to be able to trust, trainers that they all run their own businesses and have their own thing. So we're not really, we're affiliated, but we're not like their employer or anything. So I just like, hey, here's a lead, go follow up. And then it's nice because I can kind of leave, they're good at sales. They do that's their living now. So a lot of times I'll have like a member or like a lead for the gym, but then also a lead for personal training. And then they'll kind of lock him into training, but then they have to sign up for a membership. So it works out. So like ends up being my salesman also, which is kind of nice.
Wow. That's actually a really good strategy. I hadn't really thought about that before. Is the majority of the income now come from the gym? I mean, you have a ton of members, so, but usually from talking with gym owners, that only covers base expenses and fixed costs. Was there more pull for you guys from personal training and accessory fees, or was it actually from like base gym membership costs?
At this point, it's probably 90% just gym membership costs.
Wow.
So that's covering, all the expenses, and now we're actually able to like save up money and pay ourselves a little bit. So
great.
We have, other stuff. We sell drinks, we sell apparel. We just had like a huge new order come in for apparel with a bunch of new designs, which I was really excited about. And they're like, everyone was really hyped for that because we hadn't had a new apparel order in a little bit. So we sold like a ton of stuff the past couple of days, which was really cool.
Nice.
So yeah, it's majority gym memberships. And that's the thing. It's like, sometimes I wonder, like, what are the things that I'm doing like so blatantly wrong compared to other members? Like, I wonder if I'm just like totally missing out on something that, I don't have a gym member, like a mentor or like whatever. So maybe I should look, do some more research, but hey, something's working, and so far so good. So I'm like, I don't know, trying to figuring it out.
Well, and you're not taking the Planet Fitness model, which is literally jam as many people in here as possible at the lowest rate possible. So I think the approach, at least from what you're saying, is 100% on point. I feel like mentors are overrated to a certain degree.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on what business you're in.
Sure. It really depends on who you get. And like some people, things that they used worked for them for a certain reason.
Mhm.
Doesn't mean it's going to work for you necessarily, or that same strategy should apply. And sometimes you're successful. Sometimes they're successful in, in lieu of being like using those strategies, they're still successful even though they're not great strategies, or who knows. So it's like, I don't know, depends. I guess it depends.
Sure. What kind of events and things have you had at the gym? Are you hosting anything with USAPL, or is it
Sure.
just usually local stuff?
So we've been all over the place with events, which I'm really excited about
Yeah.
because so I so we had held our first sanctioned meet last April. So it was USPA powerlifting meet, which was cool. It was a good time. It was packed house. It was a lot of work doing a sanctioned meet, and in the small gym, it's like it takes away, we started setting up like on Thursday before the meet, Thursday evening.
Wow.
So it was a late night Thursday, early morning Friday, late night Friday, early morning Saturday, late night Saturday. So it was like a lot of work, and we got some exposure, but like as far as like was it worth it in the end, got a little bit of a cut of like membership of the entry fees, but not that much. And for the amount of like disruption it caused the gym, I was like, I don't want to really do this regularly. Like some gyms, they want to have meets every couple months, like cool. And they have big powerlifting base, whatever. We have a decent powerlifting base, but I have to remember that we have a lot of non-powerlifting members too. So you gotta be careful not to play too much favorites, whereas it's like you're shutting the gym down every couple weeks for a powerlifting meet.
Yeah.
It's not a great, vibe at the gym to me. And it's just like a lot of stress, and a lot of it's not what I really want to do. There's a lot of, there's plenty of meets going around if people want to compete. There's plenty to find. So for now, we're taking a break from sanctioned meets. Maybe in the future we'll get back to it. I'm not sure. But for now, we have actually in 2 weeks we have a mock meet our annual mock meet. So we did the first one last August, kind of like our 1 year anniversary mock meet. So it was really fun. We had a really good time. We had 20 some people show up, some in singlets, some not. And we ran through, we had, Jimmy Kolb judging, who's our judger. We had spotters, loaders, announcers. So you get the vibe of a meet, but it's a lot more casual and like a great way for people to kind of get into it. So get into powerlifting, try it out, or for more experienced people to get some practice. So we've got another one coming up. August 14th is going to be our second annual Unleashed Classic. So super excited for that, and it's not competitive. So what we do is we usually get a bunch of prizes, or we did last year, and then we just do a raffle system. We get 20 things. We get sponsors from different businesses in the area and stuff, and just rip through them all and give out like 20 or 25 different like prizes to people who competed or volunteered. So that was cool. A lot of different people win a lot of different things, which was fun. Just good energy, good atmosphere. So I'm really excited for that. We're back to our monthly events, because that's what we had to stop for COVID and everything, which was sad because it was such a big part of what we were doing. We just did our first, hopefully, annual summer games. So like we went and did a bunch of it was a big turnout. We had 8 teams of 6 for it. So we all went out to like my old high school, which is right down the street, big field. So basically a big field day. So we had like a dodgeball tournament. We had like this live action water balloon Angry Birds set up. We had like this whole big like intense relay with a bunch of different activities they had to go through. We had like a escape room puzzle set up. So it was like 7 different events. All the teams were competing against each other. They're all dressed up with paint, face paint and all that kind of stuff, and each event was worth different points and whatever. So we had like it was a big like summer games thing. So super fun. I got really good feedback on that. So maybe making that like an annual thing. So that was something completely different than what we've done in the past, and what I don't see other gyms doing that kind of stuff. As far as like, we get like a wide range of stuff. So the month before that, we had just like a chill cookout out back of the gym. It's got the grill and just had people come by. These have all been like free events, just like come by, meet people, talk, hang out. And the past couple have been really highly attended. So it's cool because that, you get people to meet each other. You're giving value back. Obviously, you're getting free food to people. You're giving, or a day to hang out, or prizes and that kind of thing. And so people see you taking care of them and hosting a good time and that kind of thing. So it really just continues to build that brand of like, our gym is taking care of us. I hope that's what people are seeing, and that they care about us having a good time and kind of enjoying being a part of it. So that's really big for me.
Have there been instances where, as you're building this gym community, you're having to weed out bad apples?
Honestly, not. I made a post a couple weeks ago about it where it was like, I can't believe we're open almost 2 years. I never canceled a membership. I've never broken up a fight. And I'm, trying to like think about why that happens. And to me, like, one of the things that I've noticed personally is that people come in a lot of times. Like, I've seen kind of like, tough guys come in and like walk through the door and like try to, think you want to be the tough guy in the room and that kind of thing. And quickly realize that they don't have to do that, right? Like other gyms, I think people walk in and there's like this competition, there's this edge, there's like, I have to, it's almost, I don't know if I can say this, dick measuring contest.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I'm the baddest, I'm the toughest, I'm the strongest, whatever. Right. And it's like, people come in and realize that they don't have to do that there. Like, especially you come in and you see Jimmy benching 1,000 pounds, it's kind of disarming. But like, you can like quickly,
all
right, I lose that one. But regardless, or you see Amber hopping on the bench and like ripping out what your max kind of thing. So it's like, right. Okay, so but then you also, it's not just from a being humbled standpoint, but it's like, oh, it's not that kind of energy there. It's not that kind of like, I have to be the baddest. That there's just, I'm just going to be part of it. And so I've seen it, and this is just my interpretation, but I feel like a lot of people come in who have that mentality are disarmed. And that's the best way I can describe it, is like, oh, I can relax here. I can just lift and enjoy myself and get to know people. I don't have to come in and prove myself here, which is, I think, a big part of that energy there. And I don't know if people would be able to say that explicitly, but that's kind of how I see it. And then to me, the proof of that is there's certain people who have come to the gym and are now friends, or kind of like turned over a new leaf, who in previous gyms or previous settings had beef, right? Had like, they weren't friends, they didn't like each other, whatever, but then they kind of came to our gym and like, maybe they're not best friends, maybe they're not whatever, sure. Or some of them turned out to be good friends, but they've kind of put those differences aside and kind of like, all right, let bygones be bygones. And now they have a good relationship, or they're friendly, whatever, even face value, whatever, but like having been able to move past that. So like, to me, that's one of my favorite parts, honestly, is like seeing people who were not friends or who were not friendly to each other in past situations come and kind of get over that and become just part of the community now.
Wow. Yeah, that's I would say that's unusual and unique, and something people really probably a huge attraction to, a gym like yours, if I had to guess.
I'd like to think so, for sure.
That's amazing. So what was I gonna say? So you've got anybody that's come in that's gotten a day pass or a guest pass that that you were kind of wowed, or that they even found you guys, or anybody even a mild celebrity that's kind of dropped in just to work out for a little bit? I know you mentioned Ben Pollock brought that guy in. Was it Kevin? But
Kevin Oak. That was pretty wild. So I'm trying to think who are like kind of bigger names have been. So yeah, obviously Jimmy, Bill Gillespie the other day, which was really cool. Ben Pollock, Kevin Oak. So yeah, not Amber. I'm trying to think who else. Like, we had more celebrities. We've done. Well, one of the things that, this isn't really a celebrity visit, but it was you're familiar with Barbell Brigade out in California?
Yes, I think so.
I've been a big fan of theirs for a long time. There was kind of a little bit of the inspiration behind some of the thing, and like their branding, their merch, all that kind of stuff. I've taken a really strong liking to, and kind of modeled a lot of stuff we've done after them. But then like with our own like our own kind of twist and like how can we model it towards what we're trying to do. But I've been watching their YouTube channel for a long time, and I would just kind of, it's part of my daily routine for a little bit, just like, watch their new video, so other than getting ready for work or whatever. And Kevin Oak had posted a video on Instagram of him squatting. It was like a casual, maybe it was 740 squat, just like a casual thing and that was their point. Whereas like powerlifting has come so far that now you're just seeing people, I think it was 8, just like these lifters, just part of their training day is just like, oh, he's just single at 8:30 or whatever it was, or something stupid, in sleeves and shoes and just some random rack or whatever. And so he's making his video and talking about this powerlifting, and then like I see the Kevin Oaks video pop up in our gym as part of like his video, and like you can see like my hands in the corner of the video, like just helping spot or whatever. Like, my hands, that's me. It's our gym, like we're in. So that was kind of cool to be like in a barbell brigade video, which like, we didn't get a shout out or anything, but because it was just like another training video for him. So they were shouting Kevin Oak out, not the gym he was training in, but it was just like a cool, like to see ourselves in these videos every once in a while. And then TikTok has been really interesting. I'm trying to think. I can't think of like other celebrity style. We've had a lot of really awesome lifters come through for sure. But I think those are kind of like the biggest names. I think Ben Pollock is probably one of our biggest kind of visitors that was rolling through. But TikTok's been really interesting in like just awareness and the organic reach that we've had, and been able to go pretty viral a few times now.
Awesome.
And so I just had our second video hit 1.2 million.
Damn.
So we've had 2 videos over 1 million views, which has been really cool. And then I just had, like, in the past 2 weeks, I had like a 700,000 video, I had a 1.2 million, and then I've had several like 20, 30, 40 Ks, and then like a couple 200 Ks. So it was like, it's crazy to see it like picking up. And we'll go through dead periods where you get like no views, but then other times where now I feel like you're getting some traction, and that's been super cool. And then through that, I've had like Barstool, reached out on Instagram to like repost our video. Gymshark reached out to like post our video. Comedy.com has like grabbed us, asked us for permission to use several of our videos now.
No way.
The Gymshark one was cool. I just got like a notification. Gymshark wants to send you a message.
Oh damn.
Yes, please use all our videos. And then
I take steroids, I promise.
I reached back out to them afterwards, because once you start that link, it's like, it's easier to reach back out. It's like, hey, I got another video for you. And they're like, yeah,
nice.
All right, thanks. If we'll let you know, don't like calm, simmer down. So it's just been cool to like see that reach. We had my first million view video. Not to throw him under the bus, but that popped off, and it was just like, it was, a stupid video. The less I try, sometimes the better the videos do.
Yes, dude.
So yes. Fun. But you're familiar with Ulysses World. He works out with like Simian Panda. He's like just like a bodybuilder, kind of fitness aesthetics guy, and he's pretty big like fitness influencer, and I've been following him for a while. But I started we posted that video. It was several months ago now. It's like all these gym injuries, basically, like, and then like one of the stupid filter faces of like in pain, it popped off. Like I said, 1 million views or whatever. And I started getting tagged in this other video on Ulysses videos, and someone's like, "Yo, where's Unleashed Strength credit or whatever, blah blah." And of course, everyone's like copying each other on trends and that kind of thing. Yeah. But I get tagged in this video, and it is frame for frame identical to ours. Like not just like similar style and just like a redo. It was like the same cuts, the same 3 gym injuries, like dropping a plate, like the same 3 things. And I'm like, yo, this was straight up like copied. And so people start like tagging. So I like commented like, hey, that was us. Like, what up? And my comment starts getting liked. It was like the top liked comment on his video. And he's like, yo, I apologize. He like straight up apologized to us and like credited us when he posted it on on Instagram and that kind of, it was pretty funny. He's got like 1 million followers on whatever. So it was like cool to have like this guy that I've been following for years to actually like tag us, apologize to us, and like shout us out. So it was like, it's been cool to see these like weird connections we've made through TikTok now and Instagram of like just some stupid videos going viral. But again, I think that idea of like having the more lighthearted, like, again, you see, Jimmy and I had a video together doing like silly, you remember that one that was like, you go right or left based on what we did that one, and that one I thought was hilarious just because it's like, if you want to see Jimmy Kolb skipping, like go check out that video because it's so funny. So we had like a really good time
skipping.
We had a really good time with it, but then also did pretty well. And again, and all our gym members, because Instagram I see as like our community engagement, and then like TikTok I feel as more like people who, most of our members don't have TikTok, but you get a bigger audience on TikTok. Right. So it's like two different whatever. But then you see all the members get to see that on Instagram, like Big Jimmy skipping down the turf or whatever with me. And just like, we're just having a good time. So it's like, that again is kind of another thing where it's like encourages, it's a little disarming for like tough guy members, but then it's also kind of encouraging and hopefully like makes Jimmy and myself and other people at the gym who might, a little more approachable. Just because like, hey, these guys have fun. They don't take themselves too seriously, train hard, but it's also like that whole mindset of like, we don't, we're here to have fun and have a good time and have a balanced, enjoy it too, and not take ourselves too seriously, I think is a big key for it. So social media has been huge in kind of helping push that message.
I found that there are certain communities that are more welcoming than others. I found powerlifting and strongman is generally like on the friendlier side.
Yeah.
Bodybuilding can be hit or miss. General fitness and health and nutrition stuff can be hit or miss. But like that, I found those guys, like, they're big, they're strong, they're super nice. Yeah. And sure. I don't know if I think that's part of that's a confidence thing. Just knowing that, I can outlift everybody, but I don't have to show off. Yeah. And I don't know if you found the same thing, but like the fitness community there, that's why I really enjoy that kind of niche and I enjoy the home gym and garage gym communities, which are already pretty awesome communities, but like then going into the powerlifting space, I don't know, I found some exceptional like people there. So I don't know if you found the same thing.
And the first few meets I did, I remember coming away with that same feeling, just because you go there, you don't know anybody, but everyone's like screaming at you to pick the weight up, and the judges are making comments at you. She's like, hey man, like great lift on that one or whatever. And I remember my first meet just like being very encouraged and motivated by a lot of these bigger lifters there and stuff. So I was like, that was really cool for sure. I think it's kind of a, again, as you say, as a powerlifter, I feel like there's a bit of a shift, and like, I don't know if it's like social media or what is causing it, but I feel like there's a lot of tensions rising, especially like I know there's between raw and equipped lifting. I've seen a lot of tension. I've heard it from other people. Jimmy had experienced that. Bill Gillespie was talking about it yesterday to me. It's like his gym owner was just like, they just start these kind of fights between like raw and equipped. I think there's tension there that I think it's ridiculous. It's just two different sports, and you have to respect. I think you should respect both. If you don't like one or the other, that's fine. But and then I don't know. I just see like I think I don't know if it's social media or what, but like this is kind of my call to like the younger kids getting into powerlifting. It's like, stay humble. I think with it, like, stay humble and put your head down and work. I don't know why there's so much rivalry. Like to me, there's starting to be more and more like tension in the powerlifting community from what I've seen. And so we're trying so hard to like dispel that and just like, hey, we can all like work hard together. And my whole thesis too from the beginning is just like, not everyone can be at elite levels, but everyone can be really strong. That's what's kind of cool, is like you can have, no matter what your build is or body type or whatever, you can get to a point that you're a lot stronger than you ever thought you could be, which is and be stronger than 99.9% of the population. What's interesting about powerlifting though is it's so the elite like there is so much that these uncontrollable factors that, I mean, I was thinking about this the other day, like, and this is really like doubled down on this in my mindset too. Like, if my arms are 2 inches longer than your arms, I have a huge advantage in deadlift.
Yeah.
Like that 2 inches doesn't sound like much. That's a huge deal. Like, you try doing a 2-inch block pull versus a floor, you're pulling a lot more off that block once you get used to it. And especially in like sumo, especially, I think even plays in more. So it's just like these interesting little, like, your leverages, your body proportions, that kind of thing, how much at the higher levels that stuff comes into play. It's interesting to think about, where it's like, let's not get caught too much up in those numbers and chasing your number chasing, comparing yourself to other people, just like, because it's easy to be discouraged while you're looking at other people, because you're like, oh, I'm not as strong as them, or it's easy to think yourself better than other people. But and that, I think neither one is necessarily a good mentality. You should just like make yourself the strongest that you can be based on the body proportions that you have, you know, because it's too hard to compare yourself at that point, you know. Doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah. Well, as more people enter the sport, I mean, there's going to be more dilution of the quality of character, I think. So yeah, You're right. People do need to be careful of how they're projecting I mean, people need to be ambassadors of the sport as much as they need to be, good people within the sport. I think that's equally as important. So great.
Absolutely. And like you said, as you get a bigger pool, there's always going to be people who are good ambassadors, and people who are trash people in the, it just, every organization from the history of time, you've had people who do well to spread the name of that institution, and people who are just not great people who are in it, and people blame them, say that powerlifting is bad because of these three people. It's like, that's not fair either. So
no, powerlifting is the sum of the total, not individual
Absolutely.
personalities. Well, and if you listen to any of the guys that are elite, again, Dave Tate being one of my favorites. I mean, unbelievably down to earth individuals who are extremely humble, know their own limitations, and know, even though they may not even currently be benching or deadlifting max numbers, they know where they stand, and they know the way they stand in relation to other people. So keeping that perspective, I think, is extremely important. So if people are in, you said you're in Manassas, right?
Yeah. So we're in Manassas Park, the tiny little city, like next to bigger Manassas City, kind of off to the side. Actually, I think it's surrounded by Manassas City. There's like a little cutout of Manassas Park, Virginia, Northern Virginia, about half hour south of DC, not too far from like Alexandria, Arlington, that kind of thing. Centerville, all that good stuff. Manassas Park, Virginia. First workout's always on us too, so we always do a first workout free. Come by, get a workout in sometime, check it out. Awesome. All our social medias are just at Unleashed Strength. No second E, so it's UNLEASHD Strength.
Got it.
And we're really active on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Our biggest things. We tried the YouTube, but the YouTube ROI was just like not there.
Yeah, YouTube's depends on if you're doing shorts. I think there's some pickup there, but the long form content is you gotta
post to shorts. But I was doing long form video content, and it's like it's just draining. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And then like if I was consistent with it, maybe, but I also just don't have the time and energy to do, put hours and hours of work into those.
Yeah.
Especially to get like 100 views. It's like, especially now when I can post a 10-minute view and get 1 million views on TikTok.
Right.
Oh my God, where's our best ROI here?
Quick tip, like totally off record, but if you're interested and you want another platform, Pinterest of all things
I've heard that Pinterest.
The idea pins are basically TikToks. Everybody's trying to jump on that thing. So I should
probably look into that more. I've heard it several times at this point to where it's like, all right, it's probably worth some attention.
And you can post the same content. That's what I do. I post the same content on there. So it's pretty easy, but that's awesome. I I appreciate you. I really appreciate you coming on, and best of luck with your business. I'm sure we'll touch base again soon.
Sure,
And you've got an awesome thing going, which I don't hear your story very often from other gym owners. It sounds like the success of the gym being based on so much of that community has really driven you guys forward, and so I wish you guys nothing but the best.
Thank you, man.
On
I
that.
really appreciate it.
Yeah. So
yeah, enjoyed the conversation. I love talking about it and love kind of, sharing the story. It's been a wild ride for sure, but it's been a lot of fun, and I wouldn't change it for the world. And very grateful to be in the position that I get to, go do this, for my living now, and help people, find a love for the gym and that kind of thing. And I know I've got a lot of people messaging me about like opening their own gym and everything. So feel free, DMs are open. I'm happy to help. And we try to do videos on TikTok too as well for that kind of advice. We do a lot of content on like just general gym advice, but also like business side of things and getting it kind of behind the scenes, look at that kind of stuff. So, and yeah, I mean, if you're ever in the area, please stop by for a workout.
Yeah, I definitely will. If you guys are in Virginia or you're passing through, check this guy out. And I appreciate you coming on, Joe. This is awesome.
Man, thank you again.
Yeah, I'll touch base with you about the episode when we post that. We'll tag you and all that good stuff. But
maybe get some future collabs down the road.
Sounds good.
But cool, man.
Alrighty, man. I'll catch you soon.
Sounds good, brother. Take care.
Thank you for listening. Please give FreedomCast a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts. It would mean a lot to our business. Plus, it's fun to read y'all's reviews. See you next time.